I had my two older boys in Austin, Texas. I had a great doctor, very caring, considerate, and when I moved here to El Paso and I found out I was pregnant again, I wanted a similar experience. I did a lot of research, as any new mom would do. I asked around some of my friends and my family members that had just recently had their children, and the two people that I spoke with, they both had C-sections, and I asked why. One of them had one because their doctor was going on vacation, and it was either have them with me or have them with the on-call doctor. So I found that kind of strange, that you would opt in for a surgery. The other one, her explanation was that her labor was taking a little bit longer than what it normally would. I'm not a doctor, I don't know the details, but it just seemed like it was kind of standard that they were just doing C-sections. I feel that it's selfish on their part, and with my first pregnancy, just having that person that's so personable and just really, listening to what I want. I feel that these doctors were not listening to what I wanted. This was their agenda. This is something that makes it easier for them. And it could be for many reasons. I'm sure they get paid more for doing a surgery. And I just didn't want to be on their clock. I wanted to be on my own natural clock. And I realized that C-sections and the recovery, and it was a major surgery, is not something that you wanted, especially if you were wanting to breastfeed and do things like that. You're going to have to be recovering, and it just makes it a whole lot harder with a brand new baby at home. Anyone recovering from major surgery, it can take up to 6 weeks, but dealing with two older boys and then a brand new baby, that put me out for a while. And if it was unnecessary, or hey, I'm going on vacation type of thing, I didn't want that. I looked up low C-section rate doctors in El Paso, Texas, and Dr. Novoa was the first one that popped up. And I read through his bio, and really made me feel comfortable that there wouldn't be any sort of unnecessary surgery. And soon after I made my decision, there was a report that had come out about the C-section rate, not only in El Paso, but nationally, that it was going up, up, up. I really think that it's due to greed, flat out. And upon my research online, I found first choice OBGYN, and I knew that he was going to be my doctor. His team of nurses and his front desk staff were very inviting, very, very sweet. They are very caring, and that's why they do what they do, and that's why he does what he does. Another thing that I like about him is he's very approachable. I can contact him through text, I can call him, I can Facebook him, I can get in touch with him at any time. That was a little bit something different than my other doctor. I'd have to go through the office to get with him and stuff. Anything that I needed at any time, he was there. He has a sense of humor too. He posts some silly stuff online, and different little contests, and it makes the experience it's like they're friends. It's like you're going to see your friends. It was a pretty normal pregnancy. I went in after having contractions for a day or two. They called him at the hospital and said that it looked like I was going into labor. It was 1:30 in the morning. He rushed in and gowned up, and a push or two later, she was in his arms. A year later, about. It was soon after my daughter's birthday. Wasn't feeling so good, and took a pregnancy test, and it came out positive, and I knew I was going to go right back with Dr. Novoa. So I immediately called the office to make an appointment. I really wasn't feeling good. It was something very different from my other pregnancies, very, very nauseous, very sick. And it was a joke that, oh, maybe this time it'll be twins. When I got my first ultrasound with Dr. Novoa, I think I was 10 weeks. And I asked him to check if it was twins because I was so horribly sick. And it got very quiet in the room. And then he said, yeah, you're having twins. And the medical assistant was in the room and she's like, how did you know? And I told her my symptoms were just so strong. I just had that feeling. Dr. Novoa told me, you know I'm the only one that'll deliver your twins, right? And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm here. They were both head down. And he mentioned that I would be a very good candidate still to try to deliver them vaginally. And I told him, oh yes, definitely, let's give it a try. And I had another really good pregnancy. Besides the aches and pains, I was waddling like a duck towards the end. And at my 35-week visit, he checked me and he said I needed to go to the hospital because I was ready to go. I was in labor, and he said, don't wait too long or you'll have the babies on the highway. So I called my husband and we rushed to the hospital, and I had, I think it was about 6 to 7 hours of laboring, and he came in and said hello, and I told him don't leave because my babies come quick, and he said okay, I won't leave. And I think it was like an hour later I was wheeled into the OR. He was in there. There was a couple of nurses that had actually stayed after their shift because they wanted to witness a twin vaginal birth. My daughter arrived after a couple of pushes, and right after that my son actually turned. So he was now feet first. Any other doctor would just immediately sign off on a C-section. Oh, babies. And I know that sometimes when they are both head down and one flips like that, you'll deliver the first one vaginally, and then doctor will say, okay, let's get this one out, C-section. So sometimes you can do one or the other, but he delivered my son feet first. It was amazing. When we were done, he said, this is one for the record books. And I didn't really realize how rare it was that the baby be born feet first. In my mind, I just felt so much confidence that no matter what, we were going to do this, and I'm really glad that I did. I felt that I was in good hands. I felt very confident right off the bat. Just the staff, the way everything moved. Because I had read his bio and I knew that he was on my team as far as not having to do any unnecessary surgeries. I felt very comfortable, and here and there throughout the process of going to the doctor with my daughter and with my twins, he mentioned his views on C-section. So just kind of, he reassured me as well. They were in the NICU for about 10 and 12 days, and I really don't know how I would have gone to all of those NICU visits and everything that goes along with it after having a surgery. And so I'm really thankful that I was back on my feet the next day. Happy, healthy, they're out of the NICU. They were really good birth weight anyway. My daughter was 5 pounds 12 ounces and my son was 5 pounds 6 ounces. So they were kind of the big babies in the NICU, but very healthy, gaining weight, doing really, really good. A big thank you to Dr. Novoa, and I'm glad that maybe this is a way to spread the word too. A lot of girls are forced to feel that that's just how it is now, and especially even VBAC too. Oh, I already had a C-section, so I have to have another one. And that's not true. If you get with the right person, the knowledgeable person, a really good doctor, do your research, and it doesn't have to be that way.